Hey guys, Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. Well, they say unlucky for some. However, Friday the 13th was, I wouldn't say it was a lucky day, but it was certainly a good day today. The end of the second full trading week of May. And it's been a strange month. It's been a difficult month's trading so far for myself. If I'm being completely honest, I can say wholeheartedly that right now, after today, we are still 40,000 in the red. So we've lost money. I'm as far as May is concerned in 2022, I am a losing trader. Now, I'm not proud to say that, but I do it with transparency because everybody loses. Everybody has red days. Any trader out there that says they are consistently winning every single day is a liar. You've got to be able to accept the fact that you're going to be wrong. And this, it goes against human nature because none of us like to be wrong. But try to be transparent. Everybody that takes my course, everybody that learns the strategies that I teach on my course, they see me for what I am. I'm a very transparent person. When I win, I like to think that I can win big, but when I lose, I've got to be open and honest about it. So we're 40,000 in the hole after today. However, that being said, that was a hole that we dug at the beginning of the month last week. Now we added to that this week. I'm not going to lie, but we finished strong. So this week's been a difficult week. We've had 3 red days and 2 green days this week. The same as last week. 3 red days, 2 green days. So we've had more red days consistently than we're having green days. 4 green days so far across the whole month. That being said, I feel like I've turned a corner. I feel like today, emotionally, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Why? I just feel like it didn't feel as difficult to trade. I feel volatility has returned back to the market and we've had a little bit of positivity. The markets went on the upturn. Now, that's not necessarily the reason for it. The markets went on the upturn. Yes, I got my broadband installed as well, so I'm no longer trading on mobile data, which is flaky at best. But I just feel like we've turned a corner. Now, I'm not saying that the markets have to be in an upturn for me to be profitable. That's not the case. The markets haven't been in an upturn all year. It's been a bear market since since Christmas, since the new year, really. But we've been profitable up until the start of this month. So we did have a huge drawdown at the beginning of April. We took 3 weeks to recover that, but we recovered it and made profits to the end of April. Again, we started last week with a huge drawdown and we added to it. We added to it again this week. So the fact that we've made almost $10,000 trade profit today, it's going to be about 8,500 after stoppages and commissions and trade fees, etc. But we're going to be about 40,000 still in the red on the month. But we've had a green week. So this week we've managed to make, I know it doesn't sound a huge amount, but 1,800. Now, if I made 1,800 a week in my old job, I'd have been extremely happy. If that was a consistent earnings and that was my take-home pay, I'm right, I would have been happy with 1,800. But we've had 1,800. It's been a difficult trading week. So I'm at the stage now where I'm getting back on the horse. I've taken a few blows, and I think it was Rocky, the quote from Rocky, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you get hit and can still keep coming forward. That's what winning is made of. I'm a winner, and I will continue to win. We've had a good day today. I'm feeling good about the rest of the month. Whether the market is hot or not, I just feel we've turned that corner and we can make those gains back now. We've dug a hole at the beginning of the month. We're going to make those gains to not only will we recover the drawdown, but we will get greed on the month and have some profit. We'll recover the profit that we had to dip back into from last month, and we'll have a profitable month this month. So as far as I'm concerned, we've turned a corner and I'm happy about it. I'm waffling because I've had a bottle of wine and I'm on my second gin and tonic. It's Friday. You can forgive me for that. Let's just talk about the trades. Hey, so before I go into the trades, just remember to hit the thumbs up button. It really will help me out with the algorithm on YouTube. So don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. If you enjoy my content as well, if you enjoy learning about the market or watching me trade, subscribe to the channel as well. If you hit the notification bell, you actually get to watch me. You get notified when I'm going live. You get to watch me trade live. Now, the first trade we took today was AFRM. We actually took, we traded 5 different stocks today. First trade that we took was AFRM Holdings, and we got in just after. I'm not allowed to trade with my broker. It doesn't permit me to trade before 7:30 market time, which is 2 hours before the market actually opens, so pre-market trading. And we actually got in just after 7:30, so we got in here, and we were looking for this move up, and we actually got faked out here. If I'm being completely honest, our first entry, we got faked out here, and we exited our position on the way back down. We waited a little while before our next entry, and then we waited. We got in here for this candle, breaking new highs, and we rolled this up, and we exited the position at the top of this peak at $25. So that was a good start to our trading. Good start to the day, a little bit of profit. Then we moved over to VERU, and VERU, whilst it was difficult for us to trade to start off with, it did come good for us in the end. So we traded VERU into the open. We started off here. We got this bull flag set up here. Was our first entry point, and we got in and we rolled this up. Took profit along the way. It came back down. We rolled it back up again, and we traded this very, very well up until we got into the open. So we were still holding position with VERU into the open, and we added to our position. We added big size because we're trading kind of 2,500 share lots at this stage. Then we went big size at the open, and we were looking for the break of the $0.50. We added for the break of the $0.50. It moved up to just over kind of 1170 before coming back down again, and we got caught in this. We tried to get out of our position, and we lost money. So we then added back in. I re-entered the position for the move back up, and it didn't. It actually continued to move back down. So we ended up, by the time we finished trading this, we were down here at just under $11, and we were $7,000 down on the day. So we'd dug a hole for ourselves to the tune of about $7,000. So we looked for, rather than panic, because I had a really good feeling on the day today. So rather than panic, I looked for where was the momentum, where was the volume, where were stocks that I'd traded previously, what could I get into that I had familiarity with. And one of those was AMC, and I risked a little bit more than I really wanted to with AMC, but I know how AMC moves. I've traded so many times profitably before. So we got into AMC, and we started off, and we got in the move. We got this pullback here, this big move up. We got in this pullback here, classic bull flag setup, and we got in here for the break of new highs. So 1135. I think we got filled 1138, 1139, something like that. We got filled up here for break of the highs here. It moved up, but we didn't take profits. We were looking for the break of the $0.50. Now, if you look here, we've seen that there was a trend line already forming down here in terms of support. And as it started to pull back, we were in for about 5,000, I think it was about 5,000 shares at this stage. It pulled all the way back. I expected it to bounce on the VWAP, if I'm being completely honest, but it didn't. But I still held through it. And I had this trend line that I was looking at. So this trend line that it actually did adhere to, but it was a trend line here. So I waited till it came, and it came all the way down to this trend line. And I thought, okay, if it breaks the trend line, I'm getting out. That's my final straw in the sand, if you will. So this trend line that was working its way up from here to up here, basically joining these two lines and continuing it. So it came all the way down. It actually hit the trend line, didn't break it, hit it, and then started to move back up. So on the move back up, next candle to make a new high, on the move back up, I actually doubled my position, added to my position. And we rode it all the way up, and we took profits up here at 12.30. 12.25 was, I think, the last one. So we took 12.30, half a position off, and then when it started to retrace, 12.25, we took the rest off. So we made a nice tidy profit with that, and then we went back to VERU. So VERU was good to us the second time around. It wasn't good to us the first time around, but it was certainly good to us the second time around. So the second time around, we saw that it was starting to move up, and we looked at what we'd traded previously and how we'd traded previously, and we wanted it slowed down. It wasn't quite as volatile, if I'm being completely honest, so it made it a little bit easier to read. We look for this first move up here, and we got in on the pullback for it to make new highs. It pulled all the way back to 1167, and then we got in at 1210. So it's first candle to make a new high. So bull flag scenario, kind of a micro pullback, didn't quite break the 1 minute barrier. We didn't get a red candle in there, but we got in here. That's where we got in, and then we started to add to our, we added to our position at 12.25, and then we added again for 12.50. Now, as it pulled back, we took some profits, but then we added again as it moved back up and broke 12.50. So at this stage, feeling very, very comfortable. We took profits up at 13s, all the way back down. We added, well, re-entered our position back here, and we rode it all the way up to almost 15. Well, actually $15. I think our last transaction was 14.75. So our highest transaction was 14.75. We took profits up there, and that's when we actually got out of the position. Our last transaction with it was a slight loss. We got green on VERU after being $7,000 down. We were then green, and then I got distracted. I got a phone call from the engineer coming to install my my broadband, and I was in the trade at the time, and I lost about $1,200, $1,200 or something. So we're back in the red at that stage. At which point I'm like, I'm finished trading until I've got my broadband installed. The guy came in, he installed the broadband, and it was only a few. It was only 15-20 minutes most, and we started trading it again after he'd gone. We were looking at the 5-minute chart at this stage, actually. So we were looking at the 5-minute chart, and we were looking for the next candle to make a new high on the 5-minute chart. And we got in here for the move up. So we got in at the break of the $0.50, and we moved up. We didn't get a huge amount, but we managed to get some profit here at 13.75, 13.80, and then it started to pull back. And I got out first candle to break a new low here. It then came all the way back down, came back down below 30, came back down. We were still looking for the next candle to make a new high. We got a little bit of profit here. We traded this little pump here, and then we got out here, first candle to make a new low, just 13, I think 13.70. So again, we were watching this all the way into the afternoon, and we traded again a little bit later in the day, and we managed to get green again to a significant amount for this. So as we moved back up, it went back down to kind of 1250, and as we moved back up, we got green again. This little bull flag setup here at the VWAP. Now, I love a good VWAP bounce, but if you're getting a VWAP bounce in the form of a bull flag, it's even better. And this is a classic VWAP bounce. So we come all the way back down. It moved up, came back down, tested the VWAP as support, and this is where we got in, and we made a really good gain here. So as it started to move up again, I actually got in here, and we moved up, and we got in at 1283, and it moved up. We held the position. It came back down, tested the VWAP again, and then moved back up again. At this stage, I'm kind of thinking if it breaks the VWAP and breaks new lows, the low of this candle was 1278. So I was having a very tight loss. It's like 5 cents on the trade, I think it was. So if it breaks the low of this candle, I'll exit. But it was a great VWAP bounce. We then moved all the way up, and we started taking profits up here. As it started to pull back, we exited at this stage here. Again, when it came back down, we were trading this on the 5-minute chart primarily here. We rolled this up again here to 1350s. We're seeing it's getting rejected at 13 for resistance at the $0.50, and we took off the majority of our position here. I think we had about 2,500 shares left as this came back down, and we exited the 2,500 shares. Sorry, we exited the 2,500 shares just over 1330. So as that came back down, we're looking for new highs. We're not quite getting them. It flushed again back down to kind of the 1250, and we're finding this range between 1250 and 1350 throughout the rest of the day. And we traded it a few times throughout the rest of the day, and we managed to get almost $5,000 green on the day, and then we're going into the close. And one of my students, Michael, he tells me, he says, Tony, so we're down here, going into the close. I'm streaming live for the power hour. One of my students says, is VERU done? Is it likely to make a recovery? And I'm kind of thinking, well, we've got like 10 minutes to less than 10 minutes to the close. It depends on what you mean by a recovery. Where are the bags that you're holding? And this, we're about 1260 is the price action. He says 1323. I'm like, well, if we get a bit of momentum, we might get 1310s to push 1350. And I don't think we're going to get back to 1323. So we do get that push. We do get that rally. Now he takes half of his position off at 1303. Great stuff. He's cut his losses, and he's holding his position over the weekend for the remaining half. So I'm looking at this. I'm holding and I'm streaming this, hoping that it's going to go up to 1323 for him. And I'm looking at the moves, and it's down. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, we were streaming at this stage. I finished it. I continue to watch. When I close the stream, I continue to watch this. And I get this little pump up and the pullback. Now the spreads, I don't normally trade after hours. Two reasons: the dying volume, much lower volume, but also the widening spreads. The spreads tend to be very difficult. So on this particular occasion, I thought I'd just take a punt, probably because I've been drinking, if I'm being completely honest, and I was just in a good mood. I was just feeling lucky. I thought I'd take a punt for this bull flag setup. We went all the way down to the kind of 1290s. It was about 1293, I think, the low here, and then it started to move back up, and that's when I started to think, well, okay, if it breaks new highs, then I will get in. Now, I didn't get in for the new candle to make new high. I actually got in for actual new highs of the session, so the after hours session. But I got in for 13.10. I think the high here was 13.10, so I got in at 13.10 for the move up, and rode it all the way up. And we were able to take a profit. As it started to pull back, I took profits off at the $0.50. Well, I exited the position at the $0.50 level. It continued to pull back, moved up again to the $0.50, but was rejected. So I'm kind of thinking, well, is it over or not? So it moved up again, then came back down towards 13.10s. As it moved up again, next candle here is when I entered at the $0.25 level. And I rode it back up to the 13.40s. I took my profits at 13.40s before it started to sell off again. It then started to kind of move back down, so I didn't re-enter that. But at this stage, I looked at the profit and I'm $8,000 up on VERU. I was $7,000 down on VERU at the beginning of the trading day. So we've had a $15,000 swing on VERU. So I'm kind of thinking, well, if I hadn't dug that hole at the beginning, it would be like $16,000, $17,000 profit on the day. If, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda, if my auntie had a pair of bonus, then she'd be my uncle, all that kind of stuff. But it just goes to show that be patient and the setups come. Don't rush your trading. I just had a good feeling about today, and we finished very strong. The after hours pretty much almost doubled. I got an extra 40% on top. Almost doubled our profit on the day just by trading after hours. Now, I don't normally trade after hours, but that big spike, that move up, that spike up, even though at some stages during that move up, the spreads were as much as 15 cents, which is not, it's a huge risk. It's not normal, but they were ranging between 2 cents and 15 cents. That being said, we finished the week, a green week. We finish the day, a green day. We're still red on the month, but there's time. We're only halfway through. So I'm feeling a lot more upbeat. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm feeling good about my trading, and I'll be back at it Monday. Be sure to join me. Join the live stream Monday if you're in Europe. So it'll be 1 p.m. London time or Dublin time, which is where I'm based, or it'll be 8 a.m. East Coast time if you're in the Americas. I'll be back at it Monday, trading as usual, and I'm feeling good about next week. Regardless of the market conditions, I'm feeling like next week's going to be a turn. I feel like I've turned a corner today. So next week is going to be a good week. Join me on Monday, and let's see how we do. In the meantime, enjoy your weekends. Good evening.